Hello everyone, this is Vinay here from Learn Coding with Vinay again, and this will be video number 3 in the series uh, Employee Management System using ChatGPT and ASP.NET Core. In the previous video, we saw our first migration. We generated entities, and ultimately, by using migration, we converted those entities into the database tables. Right. So now we have role and employee table already. So let's quickly go over in this video on the CRUD operation part. We will be implementing CRUD operation for role, because role is a very small entity. I would say it has only 3 fields, right? So let's dive into it. So let me first do one thing. Let me see what we have in models, right? So we have in models employee and role. So let me see what we have role. So we have only three. ID, role name is active. This one is actually a navigation field, right? So that is not part of actually uh, role entity, right? So let's instruct our chat GPT, right? So before that, let me quickly check one thing in the background. uh, okay, good. Okay, so let's move ahead. So let's go to chat GPT and request it to generate code for the CRUD operation. Now at this moment, ChatGPT has a good idea what we are trying to achieve, right? So I have reduced the prompt size. Right? Initially, we will have to explain it a lot. Later on, slowly we will reduce the size of the prompt also. So here we are saying that we have configured the application for EF. Now, can you please help me in generating CRUD operations for role entity? Please guide step by step and include possible best practices, and let me see, and validation also for the CRUD operation. Now let's see what does it give. Okay, so now it has reverted with something that, okay, this will auto generate reserve. Okay, right click on controllers, add folder, new scaffold item. Okay, choose MVC controller view using entity framework code. Okay, in the dialog box, okay, model class role. So actually Visual Studio can also scaffold many things, right? So either we can use that or we can let ChatGPT generate the code, but here it has given us that we can do it in Visual Studio itself. So let's do that. And for employee, probably we will do it manually. We'll let ChatGPT generate the code, entire code, and we'll use that code to in our application, right? So let's try to follow what it is saying, right? So let's start with the first step. Okay, scaffold controller plus, right click on control folder, add a new scaffold item. Let's do that. I'm on Visual Studio. I'll just close this. Right click on controller folder, add and scaffold new item, right? So now what is the next it is saying? Scaffold new item, right? Choose MVC controller with view using entity framework. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so it has given us the option actually, this one. Let me see if this is the correct option. uh, 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 um. Okay, MVC controller with views using entity framework. Okay, we'll do that. MVC controller with views using entity framework. Okay, go next. Okay, so over here we will have to choose which entity we want to generate a CRUD operation for. Next would be DB operation class, right? And then rest keep as it is. Let the controller name also be roles controller, and let me add this. Okay, so it has generated the code. Let's see, so we have roles controller over here, we have index method, right? we have details method, we have create method, create post method, edit get method, edit post method, and we have delete method as well. Add delete and delete post. And let's say views. If I go ahead and views, so we have roles in that. We have create, delete, details, edit, and index, right? So every view we have all views as well, right? Now let's do one thing. Go to views and shared layout. Over here, in the this menu option, master data, manage role, right? So what we will be doing, we will be adding, once this menu is clicked, where it should land, then we should add asp hyphen controller is equal to role, and asp hyphen uh, math, I think it's action. Yeah, action is equal to index. So here, from here, it will land on the, if we press this menu, it will go to the role and index method. So let me save this. Let me just, you know put down a debugger over here, or basically, we'll leave the detail create. We'll put down at the create also. We will have the edit post, right? We'll have the delete, and we'll have the delete confirmed. Okay, right? So let's go ahead and run this now. So this course is automatically generated by Visual Studio itself. Let's see how does it look like. Okay, so it ran the application. It took a little while, but let's see what is happening. I'll go to master data and I'll say manage role. Then let's say what is happening. Oh, okay, oops. So there is an error. Let's see. Let me refresh this. Okay, so let's investigate this. What is happening over here? So we are into the roles. Let's go to layout. Over here we have drop down called manage role. Okay, we have ASP controller role. Okay, maybe the controller name is roles actually. That's what the problem is. Yeah, it is roles. So let me save this and let's see if it comes up. So yeah, changing that controller name, it worked. So now we are on, let me go here again. So now we are on the index page of roles controller, and the roles are listed. It came over here, and see what it is doing. It has already use entity framework code and return the view, right? So imagine the amount of time we would have taken to go over all this code or write this code at our own. We generated it automatically, right? So here, we have nice layout, we have listed, uh, the index is working fine. Let me create new. Let me say this create new. Okay, so let's say F5. It landed to create get method. Now let me have some more. Let's say, I would say, service industries. Let's say technician AC technician, that guy is active. I'll say create. Now, so what will happen? It is coming to create post. If we go over here role, let's see if those values are getting submitted or not. So it is true. ID is obviously will not be there. This is AC technician. Employee is null. That's okay because that's a navigation property. And over here it is checking whether validation state is okay. So it is saying invalid or not. Okay, so it is giving invalid. Why? Because let's see. Because it must have generated error for employee. Okay, yeah. So it is giving error for employee because while submission it is expecting employees also to be part of uh, role entity, right? Now actually there can be a department where there are no employee. That can be the thing. So what do we need to do? I'll stop this application, right? And if I go, I'll go to role entity, I'll go to models, where model. Okay, role entity, and I'll just mark this as optional, right? So that will make it optional, and while submitting, it will not generate error for this, right? If it does not do this, if this does not work, then we have another way also. Let's see if this one works or not. So let me run this, and let's see. It is loading up. Let's say, yeah, okay, it is there. Now let me go to manage role, and yeah, let me run these. It is loading. Okay, so we are here. So let me make this create. So it lands in the create get method. So let me make this what we have used, AC technician, right? And this guy was active. I would say create. And so we are on the post method now. Let's see what do we have in role. So we have this time employee is null, true, true, true. Okay. If I move ahead, this time it went to inside because now the state is valid because we ignored the employee property, right? Because while creating a role, we don't need to create employee, right? So we don't need to create an employee who's associated to that role. Now let me say F5, right? So nicely this AC technician got added, right? Let me edit this. So it will come to, edit post method. I'll say F5 just. So we can edit this guy. Let me make it inactive and let me make this C capital. I would say save. Again, we are on the post method. Let's see, we should have ID as okay, phone number. We should have role, AC technician updated, and this active is also there, right? So let me say F5. Right, so this got updated. The AC is capital now. This is inactive now. Let me say delete. So let me say F5. So here it is. We are on the delete screen now, and let me say confirm delete. So this time it will come to confirm delete, right? Let's say what it does. So it finds the role. Now these all are entity framework code which is generated automatically, right? We did not have to write anything, and again it is redirecting back to the index page, right? So every time we are doing create, insert, or delete, it is redirecting us to on the main page, right? So over here, that AC technician role is also got tilted. So CRUD operations are ideally working very nice. It we just follow simple few steps and it is done, right? But these were generated using Visual Studio's scaffolding thing. Right now we can do similar thing for employee also, but this time we will not go that route. We will let chat gpt generate the code, right? But before moving to that, we will let's improve a UI little bit over here, right? Then let me go over here. Let me go to index. So this one is index. So let me, if you are aware of uh, the bootstrap grid, we will use bootstrap grid. Here we'll say class is equal to row. Here we'll say and div, right? Div. Inside it we will say another div, that we will have class is equal to call, right? And we will have another call, right? And I'll say control kd. I hope it aligns the code. Okay, so we'll take this first one into this, and we'll make it span to call 10. So bootstrap grid is actually 12 column long. In the out of that 12 column, first 10 column we are taking it as a header, and we are making it little small. Actually h1 is too big, right? And in the next one, we'll remove the para. We don't need it, right? And we'll take the button over here, create new button over here, and then we will keep the table as it is. Let's say if this has changed now, right? Okay, great. So index is over here, create new is over here, right? So I think h4 is little small. Let me make it h2 or maybe h3, right? Okay, so this looks good, and at the same time I want to have a little space on the top of the side, so I'll say empty 2. Okay, so this looks good now. Now rather than having just the link, we would like to have button, so I would say class is equal to btn, let's say primary. So we will have button say create new, right? And also let me separate this body with an hr horizontal line so that it looks nice, right? Okay, now it's making sense. Also, rather than index, I would say manage roles. Let's go ahead and see what is happening. Right, manage role. So this looks good. And instead of this create new, the hollow button, let's say outline, we would say a button that is actually have a border, and then on hover it becomes the right. So this looks very nice. Okay, now this looks good. Now let's color the table heading, right, so that it looks nice. So where do we have it? Okay, so we will say class is equal to table. Let's say we want to make it green kind of thing, so table success. So header will have green. Okay, this is pretty bad choice, so let me make it light, so maybe light gray color will come. Okay, that's also okay. Let me make it some more. Let me make it info, if that makes sense. uh, uh, or let me make it dark. Let's Okay, so dark, let's keep this dark. Okay, so this looks good. Or maybe just we can just a moment. Yeah, so let's continue. I was just trying various combinations for the table row and head, and but it seems this looks better. Table will make it light and table heading will make it dark. So now it looks like this, and we have create new button. Let's click it whether it is working or not. And let me remove these all breakpoints now, and let's move ahead. Right, so this we are on the create screen, and so this looks good. So let's improve this one also a little bit, you know because we don't want it that way. Let me go to create view over here, right? And then okay, instead of create, let's follow the same thing. What we will be doing, we will be taking these copy pasting it over here, manage role. We will say new role, we'll save it, and instead of these we will have the I'll have to rebuild. Let me stop this at all, and let me do all the code changes over here, you know and let's remove this back to list. What I'll do, we will keep it over here, and we will add class. That class would be btn, and btn outline would be secondary. Alright, so let's see how does this look like, and let me remove these. And here we have here we actually don't need let me take this on top over here. Actually, we don't need create over here. We'll have back to list over here, and let's run it. Yeah, so let's see, we have made the changes in create screen also. I am going to index page. I'm waiting for it to load. So basically just to make the out our UI consistent. So if I go to create new, Let's see. Okay, so now I have back to list, but I think the light or secondary did not work. Let me go to boot switch, and I wanted this actually dark. Okay, so let me make it, outline this one as dark, and let's see what is happening. It's taking time. It is loaded. Okay, very nice. Okay, so from here we can go back to this. If I press this again, we'll be on index page, right? Okay, so similarly we can do on other screen also, but I am not doing it right now. So this is how you can, make changes using Bootstrap. You can even convert this button also on the actually this links also to the button, right? So I'm not doing in this video, because we would like to on employee CRUD operation, because that will be the critical part and the heart of the application. There we will cover many scenarios to, so as of now I am avoiding this. But now what do we have? We have employees already in, and we have roles already in, right? And we, for roles, we already created CRUD operation using automatic code generation scaffolding of Visual Studio itself, right? In the next video, since we have user with different role, in the next video we will implement login functionality, and based on the login, we'll show hide menus, right? So let's jump in, let's see you in the next video. Thanks a lot guys for watching this.